welcome to Beautiful People. On the show today, my guest is a very controversial man. He has as many detractors as he does admirers. He's an engineer by training, an activist by vocation, and a government baiter by choice. If people say that Anna Hazare is the face and heart of the India Against Corruption movement, they also say that this man may well be its brain or nerve center. Please welcome Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind, good to have you on the show. The Hisar results, counting should happen on the 17th of October. If you win, which means that if the Congress candidate is not elected, we know how you will interpret it. If you don't win, which means that the Congress candidate is elected, how are you and your movement going to interpret those results?
It would mean that people don't support Jan Lokpal Bill.
You're clear that that's the way you're going to interpret it?
Because that's exactly what we told people. We were not supporting or opposing any particular party. We were saying don't vote for Congress because Congress did not bring Jan Lokpal Bill. Till such time they bring Lokpal Bill, you don't vote for Congress. After that you can vote for Congress.
Right.
We have no enmity against Congress.
So if the Congress candidate wins, you are categorically saying that you see it as the fact that people in Hisar don't want the Jan Lokpal Bill
is not there.
What does that do to your movement and to your confidence and momentum?
That's a hypothetical question. Let's wait for the results.
It is very clear that the UPA government led by the Congress has over the period of the last 7, 8, 9 months even, taken actions and steps which has resulted in a trust deficit. Given that the monsoon session ended with the parliament making this, passing a resolution saying that they want the standing committee to see it, and that's the sense of the House. Given that the winter session is going to start end November, why did you feel the need to continue contributing to a trust deficit? Because they've contributed to it, now doesn't it seem that you're contributing to it by personalizing it?
It's not a question of contributing to trust deficit or building trust deficit, etc., etc. It's a question of the Parliament spoke about 3 issues.
Right.
The resolution was on 3 issues.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are a total of 33 issues. There are 33 differences between the government's Lokpal Bill and our Lokpal Bill. And those 33 amendments would need to be done in the government's Lokpal Bill to bring it in consonance with our Lokpal Bill. So it's not just about these 3 issues. So before this Hisar elections, we urged all the political parties
to give you in writing
or write or whatever. Just like this was a by-poll, but before every election there is a manifesto.
Right.
And as ordinary citizens, we approach all political parties that please include this in your manifesto, please include this in your manifesto. So we approach all the parties. Every other party said we completely support Anna Jan Lokpal Bill, except Congress, which again raised questions about their suspicions about their intentions. And this is exactly what they had been doing. For instance, in July they said, we'll bring a very strong Lokpal Bill in the Parliament in August. And you see the kind of bill that is
right.
Now, our job is to keep on building pressure on the government rather than wait for the winter session to be over and then again be taken aback.
So explain to me how it works, because the reconstituted standing committee should have been meeting, and you and your colleagues, IAC and a whole bunch of other people who have stakes in wanting to contribute to this bill and to this lawmaking process would have been invited. Have you gone for any meetings since?
Invite us towards the end of October.
Towards the end of October.
End of October or early November will be called for.
Right. Why not wait till then to then unleash the next part of your movement?
Standing committee is a recommendatory body.
Right.
Anuradha, you have to understand it's a political problem. And it needs to have a political solution.
So I'm naive when I ask.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm answering your question. It's a political problem which will have political solutions, which will come only if there is a political will right at the top of political spectrum. So the people sitting at the top need to take a decision. What do they want? Even if standing committee gives whatever report, it is the people sitting at the top who have to take a decision whether they would accept that standing committee recommendation or not. Whatever best presentation we might make to the standing committee, it is the political decision which will decide what kind of report will ultimately come out of the standing committee. And if we want the top leaders to take a decision, the battles would have to be fought in the streets and not in the boardroom where the standing committee. So standing committee, we will go, we will follow all the process, but the decision is political and the political will is required, and the political will be there if this entire thing turns into votes.
Or doesn't turn into votes, like the way you want it to happen in Hisar and then in the upcoming state elections. By doing this, you are mounting pressure. I understand where you're coming from, but do you feel it makes the other party, in this case the UPA led by the Congress, say that okay, these guys are becoming personal about us? You have an extreme position, you perceive them as having an extreme position. In the middle is the middle path. Why, Arvind Kejriwal, are you not wanting to adopt that middle path?
My response is twofold. One is, have you heard the audio tapes which have been released just now?
I've just read reports on them. I haven't heard the full.
If you read the last tape, hear the last tape, in that, last or second last, we are almost urging the government side that you are not agreeing to this, understandable, you are not agreeing to this, understandable, but please, for heaven's sake, why are you not interested in lower bureaucracy, in citizens' charter? This is going to give you votes. Why aren't you interested in that? And they just simply say no, it's not possible. So it's not that we have not tried our best to plead and to urge and to argue and to persuade them. We have tried everything in the last 8 months. In the 2 meetings that we had with Mr. Pranab Mukherjee when Anna was on fast at Ramlila Maidan, there again we were almost pleading before them. So it's not that we have not tried. Now also, on one hand we are saying don't vote for Congress till such time it brings Lokpal Bill. But if there are talks, we will be more than happy, and I can assure you the talks will take place in a very cordial atmosphere.
So you're saying that you're telling people that don't vote for the Congress till they pass the Lokpal Bill. People who are your detractors say that this is a front for the BJP. You've heard all the criticism. I'm not going to go into it because you know it. Aren't you afraid that this plays into the hands of people who would benefit from this, i.e. the BJP and other parties?
Opposition parties. Yes. It is very natural. In a democracy, if the ruling, what do you say when you say anti-incumbency factor?
Right.
This is exactly what it means.
Right.
That if the ruling party does not perform, the opposition gains out of it. So when we say that don't vote for Congress till such time as they pass Lokpal Bill, I completely agree that opposition parties would
benefit. That doesn't bother you.
Just one second. That automatically means that they would benefit out of it. But then one is that why doesn't the Congress pass Lokpal Bill and take advantage of that? They would get all the votes, they would get all the goodwill of this movement across the country. Why aren't they taking the goodwill? So are we responsible for that, or are they themselves responsible for that?